This video was made possible by the Elysian team. I will have the link to Elysian in the description. All thoughts and opinions are that of my own. Elysian is an online arena shooter by the team at Elysian Games, offering up two modes for players to check out, those being a wave-based survival mode for solo players and the multiplayer arena shooter mode if you want to go a few rounds against others, maybe even your friends. Though, for the purposes of this video, we will be looking at the solo survival mode. The survival mode places you on a map to survive as long as you can, in as many ways as possible, against rogue drones that will become more numerable and damage dealing the longer you manage to survive. Around the map, you will find a number of weapons and power-ups to obtain with credits earned from defeating the rogue drones. These weapons being a pistol, an SMG, a revolver, and a shotgun. Personally, from my play session, I got the most enjoyment using the shotgun, especially once I get the ammo power-up that basically turns the shotgun into a lawnmower, thanks to the endless ammo, which really helps against larger groups on later waves. Each of these weapons have several variations that you will come across around the map, these being standard, which offer the standard damage, incendiary, which has a 50% chance of igniting your enemies, cryo, same deal but freezing instead, and one that has a 50% chance to deal double damage. Personally, these effects only really seem to be effective when I'm using like the SMG or the pistol, as their damage output doesn't equate to a one-shot elimination on most enemies. The power-ups all pack an incredible punch with how effective they are, offering me things such as unlimited health, ammo, and energy for my shield and jetpack. Zipping around the map with the jetpack and that power is just so satisfying. And there's the Harbinger of Chaos with using the ammo power-up with the shotgun. In addition to these, there are also a number of perks that will affect you for the entire run, not just for several seconds. Although the way to obtain these isn't exactly too clear, but I believe I get these from defeating one of the enemy types. Which, speaking of which, there are two main types of enemies in the game. You have your standard drones that come in 4 different colors, and depending on the color of the drone, deals more damage than others. And you have the massive drones that are known as the Guardians, that act as the boss on every 4 waves. Defeating these seems to be how I get the perk upgrades. While there doesn't seem to be a definitive wave limit, however, I feel as though I could do with a couple more seconds between waves so that I can make sure my health is regenerated and I decide to buy a new weapon if I want one. This would be helpful at the first wave so I can make sure I have my information about what the power-ups do and what the perks do. Although the board at the start doesn't seem to explain what the power-ups do, meaning I've had to figure those out on my own. I quite like the map that we have in the game, as it gives me a lot of different places to zip around in and use the cover if I ever need the cover, and also the whole misusing the unlimited energy thing to just have so much fun going all over the place. As well as incentivizing me to find the different power-ups and weapons to buy if I again want anything. But it would be nice to someday get a second map of the game, mainly to increase replayability across the survival and multiplayer, as they both seem to use the same map. Presentation-wise, the game's visual style gives it a blocky charm that I quite like, also making it ideal to run on most mobile devices, in addition to its capability of being played on a PC or VR. All the footage has been taken from me playing the game on the desktop web browser, but I will be happy to play it in VR once I figure out how to do that. In future updates, in addition to things like the second map and wave timer adjustments, I would like to see like a permanent upgrade system for like my stats, so like increasing my overall health and energy, in addition to length and damage of the weapon variation effects, as well as enemies having more health when you get into later waves, in order to balance out the upgrade system. During my play session to collect the footage for the video, I did want to check out the multiplayer mode, but I had no luck in finding any active matches. But I would be very open to checking it out in the future. Overall, Elysian is a pretty fun game, and I'd recommend you give it a try at some point. I will have the link to the game in the description if you do want to check it out. Hey, let me know if you want to run some multiplayer sometime. I'd be down for it.